everyone, it's Lori from loristory.com. Thanks for joining me for another Cricut tutorial. I wanted to take a moment. I posted on Facebook these two images at two separate times. They are print and cuts that I made with the Cricut Explorer. I actually used the Cricut Explore Air, but the Cricut Explorer, the Cricut Explore Air, and the Cricut Explorer 1 are all capable of doing this, and they all do it in the same way. When I posted these two pictures, I immediately started getting slammed with messages. What printer do you have? What paper did you use? How do you do this? And I have done several print and cut videos, but none, I guess, really just geared at showing you how to create digital images. So I thought I would answer all those questions and show you how to do this with Cricut Explore and Design Space and walk you through it from start to finish. So the first thing we need to do, let's get rid of these. The first thing we need to do is find some digital images. There are tons of places on the web to find digital images. Here are a few of my favorites. There's Snap Click Supply, and all you do is go into Digital Supplies and find what you're looking for. The Digital Press, this is run by my friend and owned by my friend Lisa Bell. And she has all kinds of digital kits here for you and several designers. You're all familiar with Miss Kate's Cuttables. You get SVG files from there. Well, these are all print and cut images, and they work exactly the same way. So once you have found a kit that you want and download it, I put mine on my desktop while I'm working with it, and then I file it away, but you can do it whatever you want. But once you find a kit that you want, you're going to go into Design Space and create new project. You're going to go to Upload Images and Basic Upload. Most digital kits will come in as JPG or PNG files. So we're going to go to Upload Image and you're going to hit Browse. I just purchased a kit right here. It's on my desktop, so we're going to open that. And here are all the images that are in this kit. Now, I go in and upload these one by one. If you wanted to, you could put a bunch on a page and then upload them all together. The problem with that is when you go to resize them in Design Space, it's going to resize them all, or you're going to have to slice them apart. So I just take the time and upload each one individually. So let's just pick one here. I loved cameras. I have tons of them, but I'm going to pick this camera and I'm going to click Open. You can see by the dotted background that this is a PNG file. That means there is no background. We don't have to clean this up, which is great for Design Space. So I'm going to click Simple Image and hit Continue. Here we can take a second look at it if we want, just to make sure there's no inside cut lines or anything. We just hit Preview. And that is where it's going to cut around the image, and that looks perfect. So I'm going to hit Continue. Next we have a screen that has the name of the file, and you can add your tags. I'm going to add camera, black and white, just in case I'm looking for it later, I can find it this way. Down here is the important part. See this Preserve Original Image within Shape, recommended for print and cut projects. You want to make sure that is checked. If that is not checked, this is what Design Space is going to bring in for you. It's just going to bring in an outline of a cut. It's not going to have any of that detail of the inside of the image. So whenever you're going to print and then cut, you want to make sure that is checked and hit Save. Okay, it'll be the first image down here in the project bin. You're going to click it and hit Insert. And now this is on your page. One thing you need to know about print and cut, that currently you do have some printable area guidelines, and that's all dependent upon which browser you're using. I'm using Firefox, and the printable area is 6 by 8.5. So you want to keep that in mind when you're selecting how many images you want to use, but you also, in the name of not wasting paper, I try to put as many as I can. So let's go back to upload images. Let's upload another one. Upload, browse, here's my kit, and let me find another one I want to print. We'll do this flower. Open, simple image, continue, check our cut lines, they look great, continue. Going to tag it flower red. All right, preserve original image, we want that checked because we're going to be printing this, and hit save. Okay, now I know that I'm going to have a 8.5 by 6-inch area to print, so I'm going to go ahead and just check some extra images here. I don't want that one. That I can use on other things since I'm going to be printing. But you could go through and just keep adding those images that you are uploading. All right, so I've got a page full of images here. Let's hit insert. And here they all are. And I'm going to go to insert shapes, square. I'm going to edit that square, and I'm going to unlock keep proportions. And I'm going to change this to 8 by 5.5. That's slightly smaller than my printable area. And I'm going to go over to the layers panel, click on it, and change it white. And this is just going to give me an idea of how much I can fit in here. And I'm going to move to the back. So let's see what we could fit in here. And I'm going to make this smaller. I don't need these real big. Put that there, that there. That looks good. And you can size these any way you want. Just trying to do this quickly. Just one sheet for you. Oops. All right, I might have picked more than I can fit on one sheet, which is fine. It'll just make extra sheets for you, but just for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to keep this just to one sheet. I'll just get rid of that one, grab this one, and we can probably fit that there. Okay, so I know that I can fit all that in there, so I'm going to take this out of there. And you can just hit go if you want. If I wanted it to print exactly like this, I could select all this, right click, and attach. And now hit go. And there we have it. All of this is coming in as a print then cut image. So all we need to do is hit print and go. This is going to give us the options to change some settings on our printer, and I highly recommend that you do this. So I'm going to choose my HP OfficeJet Pro 8600. It's an inkjet printer. That's what I use. And I'm going to hit OK. And now this gives me some more options. I'm going to change this to best. I'm going to change the paper type to brochure matte paper. That's a thick paper, and it will help my printer know that it needs to pick up some thick cardstock. I'm actually going to print this on some white textured cardstock. My favorite is the Cricut white cardstock. However, I don't have any at the moment, so I am using This is from Walmart. It's by Colorbox, Colorbox. I also like the American Crafts cardstock. I don't always print on textured cardstock. If I don't print on textured cardstock, I like to use the Staples brand matte photo paper. It's actually where you'll get the very best quality of prints. The paper does make a difference. So I'm going to put this on brochure matte regardless of any of those choices. And I'm going to change this to best. Okay, now we're going to go over to the printer. In my printer, I have to load the texture side down if I want to print on the texture side. And over here on the software, we're going to hit print. Okay, now here we are at the Cricut. We're going to load the paper in the upper left corner, and you want to make sure that's lined up pretty well. We're going to insert it into our Cricut. And back at the software, it's telling us to set the dial to the correct setting. It should be on cardstock. It is. So we're just going to hit go. First thing the Cricut's going to do is go up to this top registration mark, and it's going to look for that registration mark. That is what tells the Cricut where the images are on the page. And now it's going to cut my images. Let's eject. One thing I want to point out is when you print your images, you may notice that they have sort of a fuzzy edge around the edge. And you'll wonder why, and I want to show you. You want that fuzzy edge. It's called a bleed. Cricut does it to make their printing cuts even that much more spectacular. And here is the bleed. You see that extra ink? Cricut adds a little bit more ink around the edge of your designs so that when they are cut, they turn out absolutely perfect with no white edges. Here are my images. And here's an additional look at the images I posted on Facebook the other day. These were all cut using the exact same method that I just showed in the video. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, you can visit me on my blog at loristory.com. Thanks so much for watching.